Cell phone video caught Brown being detained by Miami police, accused of opening fire outside a celebrity boxing event last month. $10,000 bond and remain under house arrest until a trial date is set.
Get down.
I swear, I thought the last video I made on Antonio Brown would be my final video on Antonio Brown, but this situation just escalated into something way worse. So currently, Antonio Brown is wanted by the police on attempted murder charges, which is the most serious criminal allegation that he's ever had. He's currently facing an active arrest warrant that was signed by a Miami-Dade County judge on June 11, 2025, charging him with attempted second-degree murder with a firearm, carrying a potential 15 to 30-year prison sentence. And at the time that I'm recording this video, he hasn't surrendered to the authorities. This whole situation is absolutely insane. Before we get to the content, this video is going to get demonetized, so if you want to support the channel, leave a like and subscribe. And very quickly, this video is sponsored. You remember the 4-man I ran in my Luka Doncic video on Prize Picks? Well, that risk-free $25 hit. Now, if you didn't take that opportunity, you could still sign up for Prize Picks using my promo code Mikerophone to get a free $50 when you make a play of $5 or more. And if you go into the description down below, there will be a link to join my Discord server where we've been hitting on baseball, WNBA, and NBA on a daily basis. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? We have a full video on all of Antonio Brown's controversies and a rise and fall video that I'll leave in the end screen if you guys want to be up to date in regards to Antonio Brown's psychology and his history. But this video is going to focus strictly on the allegations that are being brought forth against him because these are some really crazy allegations. So the incident that led to attempted murder charges occurred about a month ago on May 16, 2025, just before midnight outside a celebrity boxing event in Miami. The event was hosted by Aiden Ross and it featured boxing matches as part of Ross's Brand Risk series, and there were off-duty Florida Highway Patrol officers that were working security for the event. So according to the arrest warrant that was signed by a Miami-Dade County judge, Antonio Brown got into a physical altercation with a man named Zulkarnain Kwame Nantambu. I apologize if I butchered that, who claims to have known Antonio Brown since 2022. Surveillance footage captured Antonio Brown punching Nantambu with a closed fist, sparking what the warrant describes as a melee involving multiple individuals. Security staff initially broke up the fight, but what happened next has Antonio Brown potentially facing decades in prison. The warrant alleges that Brown retrieved a black firearm from the right hip area of security officer Eric Bauer and then pursued Nantambu with the weapon. Cell phone video captured the terrifying sequence. Get down. Brown advancing toward Nantambu on the sidewalk outside the venue with a weapon in his hand. The footage then captures 2 gunshots as Antonio Brown came within several feet of his target, with Nantambu literally trying to duck after the first shot. The victim told investigators that one bullet possibly grazed his neck, requiring treatment at Aventura Hospital. Police responding to ShotSpotter gunshot detection alerts at approximately 3 a.m. found 2 spent shell casings and an empty gun holster at the scene. Physical evidence that prosecutors will likely use to support their case. Multiple witnesses in the parking lot identified Antonio Brown as the shooter, according to police reports. AB was initially detained and patted down by responding officers, but was found unarmed and released due to the absence of identified victims at the time, including the review of surveillance and cell phone footage that charges were filed nearly a month later. Within hours of the incident, AB took to social media with his own account of what happened. On May 17, 2025, Antonio Brown posted on X that I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some videos circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story and then released me. I went home that night and was not arrested. Brown claimed that he would be pressing charges on the individuals that jumped him, painting himself as the victim of an attempted robbery. However, this narrative directly contradicts the warrant's allegations and witness testimony. The alleged victim, Nantambu, told TMZ Sports that the people involved were all on AB and Aiden's teams, disputing any robbery claim. Even more concerning was Brown's statement on Aiden Ross's live stream the next day.
Yeah, I got CT. I blacked out. I ain't know what happened. I blacked out, Aiden. I know you did. I ain't know what happened.
This admission could prove problematic legally, as it acknowledges memory loss during the incident while potentially providing a mental health defense. Now, what's very interesting here is that Antonio Brown has been very silent on social media ever since the warrant became public, which is unusual behavior for someone that is consistently posting on X. So the fact that AB is staying quiet right now implies that he's done something that he should have done a very long time ago, and that's hire a PR team and also hire legal counsel. And here's where Antonio Brown's really screwed. The evidence against him does not look good. According to the warrant, prosecutors have multiple pieces of evidence that could prove very difficult to defend against. There's surveillance footage from the venue showing Antonio Brown's initial result on Nantambu and the alleged gun retrieval from security officer Bauer's holster. Cell phone video capturing the moment Brown fired 2 shots at close range, with Nantambu ducking for cover. 2 spent shell casings recovered from the scene, along with an empty gun holster, which is physical evidence that shots were fired. Shot spotter gunshot detection data, providing precise timing of the gunfire. Victim identification from hospital records and witness statements, and the fact that Antonio Brown was rationalizing his decision-making on Aiden's stream. The victim met with detectives on May 21st, 2025, and positively identified AB from surveillance footage. He told investigators that Brown began to run toward him with a firearm after the initial fight was broken up, and that he was placed in fear for his life when Brown fired at him twice. This combination of video evidence, physical evidence, witness testimony, and victim identification creates what prosecutors would consider to be a very strong case against Antonio Brown. And unlike many other celebrity criminal cases that rely heavily on witness credibility, this case appears to have multiple forms of corroborating evidence. The attempted murder charges represent the culmination of a 5-year legal downward spiral that began with Brown's dramatic exit from the NFL. His legal troubles show a concerning pattern of escalating severity, from social media violations to assault charges to domestic violence allegations and now attempted murder. And the timeline is just so dark. I mean, in 2020, Antonio Brown pleaded no contest to felony burglary with battery charges related to assaulting a moving truck driver over a $4,000 dispute. He received 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service, and anger management classes. In 2022, Tampa police issued a domestic violence warrant after Antonio Brown allegedly threw a shoe at his ex-fiancée and threatened to shoot her, though charges were later dropped when the victim recanted. By 2023, Antonio Brown was facing arrest warrants for unpaid child support, owing over $30,000 to the mother of his eldest daughter. He was arrested in October of 2023, but released on a $15,000 bond. His financial situation became public in May of 2024 when he filed for bankruptcy, claiming assets of just $50,000 against $2.93 million in debts, a shocking fall for someone who earned over $80 million during his NFL career. The debts paint a picture of chaos. $1.2 million to the truck driver he assaulted after failing to appear in court, over $1 million to a celebrity jeweler for unreturned custom pieces, hundreds of thousands in credit card debt, and even $296 to a local plumber. His Albany Empire Arena football team was kicked out of the National Arena League for unpaid fees, with players threatening to sue after Antonio Brown removed their final paychecks from bank accounts. This progression from contract disputes to bankruptcy to attempted murder charges just shows how Brown's post-NFL life has spiraled completely out of control. And if convicted as charged, Antonio Brown could face 15 to 30 years in prison. Under Florida's sentencing guidelines for attempted second-degree murder with firearm enhancement, Florida's criminal statutes provide harsh penalties for gun crimes, with potential mandatory minimums that could limit judicial discretion in sentencing. But Antonio Brown does have a few defenses here. He could claim self-defense, meaning that he was jumped and he was just defending himself. Lack of premeditation to reduce the charge severity. He could challenge the witness's identification or video evidence quality. Or, if all else fails, he could just say,
Yeah, I got CT, I blacked out. I ain't know what.
Or this could go in the direction of a plea deal. It could include reduced charges like aggravated assault with a firearm, which is 5 to 15 years, assault with a deadly weapon, which is 2 to 10 years, or reckless endangerment, which is 1 to 5 years. However, the strength of the evidence may limit the prosecutor's willingness to offer significant plea reductions. But Antonio Brown's biggest problem here is there's a really strong case against him. Like I said earlier in the video, there's multiple forms of evidence and it's really tough to challenge this evidence. It's not like like grainy surveillance footage. This is all iPhone camera footage admitting to doing the crime on camera. I'm gonna keep you guys posted on this situation because obviously it's escalating. It genuinely breaks my heart whenever I have to make a video on Antonio Brown. So we're gonna keep you guys posted on this situation as more information comes out. You guys already know how I feel about Antonio Brown. It's truly tragic that one of the greatest wide receivers in NFL history is behaving like this. And on one hand, you don't even know how to feel about his behavior. Was he always this type of person, or is it the fact that he has CTE that's making him this type of person? It's really difficult to know whether to feel empathetic or disappointed, but at the end of the day, I think we could all unanimously feel sad about this situation. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.